This next article from the Baloney Broadcasting Company. Proud Boys far right group becomes proud or LGBT trend online. Proud Boys denied being a homophobic operation. The trend is part of efforts to drown out most of the content related to the far right anti-immigrant group of the same name. They're not an anti-immigrant group. Look, people, there's a difference between being against mass immigration and being against the immigrants who are here. There's a huge difference. People think that if you want to restrict immigration because that our people have a low birth rate, and if we just continue to packing on immigrants, we're just kind of giving away our country to foreigners. That's a perfectly legitimate view. That's not far right in any way, shape, or form. Far right would mean that you discriminate against the people who are here, that you create a steep social hierarchy with them at the bottom. That's the definition of far right. That's it. It has to mirror that. If it doesn't mirror that, then it's not far right. So if you think that we should restrict immigration to citizens exchange, where we send them citizens, they send us citizens, the same number, or some ratio of that, then they're saying you're like a Nazi. You're like somebody who believes in Sharia law. You're like a fascist. This doesn't make any sense. Proud Boys are absolutely not anti-immigrant at all. Their leader is, was that Enrique Torres, the Afro-Cuban guy? He's not a white dude. Actors, artists, and the Canadian Armed Forces are among those who have shared supportive pictures. The Proud Boys group has denied being a homophobic organization. Since the beginning of last week, the term hashtag Proud Boys has been tweeted more than 88,000 times. Majority of them have been posted since October 1st. That day, former Star Trek actor and LGBT rights activist George Takei suggested on Twitter that gay guys should use the hashtags to share pictures of themselves making out with each other and doing other very gay things. Because then when you search for Proud Boys, you see a bunch of gay people. Here's the tweet from George Takei. It says, I wonder if the BTS and TikTok kids can help LGBTs with this. What if gay guys took pictures of themselves making out with each other or doing other very gay things, then tag themselves with hashtag Proud Boys? I bet it would mess them up real bad. Hashtag reclaiming my sign. Maybe you shouldn't antagonize other groups. Maybe you should like not try to mess with other groups. These Proud Boy guys don't mimic anything in the far right. They aren't they aren't racist. They don't promote discrimination against immigrants. They promote immigration restrictions, which is different. It's different. Saying that our families are shrinking. We don't want to flood the place with immigrants because that would be stupid. That's not the same thing as being against immigrants. But it's always with the left, it's a game of expanding the definitions. So they found a tactic where they could attack people. It works. Now you just got to expand the definition, bring in other people into this group, and then you don't need to have any logic to respond to their arguments. All you have to do is just say that they're far right, they're white supremacist, they're racist, they're xenophobic, they're sexist, they're misogynist, and then that's it. You just win the argument. And people think that there's not like a next phase to this. They just think, oh no, we just give them what they want and everything will just be great. Right. No, that's not actually the way the world works. People are, we have brains that have neural networks in them, and you can teach them things, you can give them rewards, and you can trigger them to do things. People get undergo classical conditioning. They undergo cognitive dissonance, intrinsic and extrinsic motivations. And when they do this, they can have behavior patterns that start to emerge when you get a benefit from something. So when you teach them, oh, you can just attack people and characterize them as bad, evil people, and then you'll win the argument. You'll get them kicked out of the workplace. They won't be able to work in this town anymore. You'll destroy their name, make sure that they permanently are at the bottom of the social hierarchy now. And you're foolish if you think that people aren't going to subconsciously learn this pattern and repeat the pattern over and over again after this problem is gone. In reality, what they will do is they will find another reason to target people by expanding the definitions of far right and racist and sexist until it can fit just any of their enemies, and then they use it to target you. They're notorious for this. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. It's nothing new. It's a tactic that they've been using. It just naturally evolves with humans. Once you give them, when they learn an attack pattern, and they know that it works, then they get really good at using the attacks. They create this rhetoric based around a dogma that they're trying to avoid the punishment themselves because they've seen other people be punished. So then they will develop a worldview that protects them from these punishments. So it's just them that's just punishing you. And then, you've normalized some really bad stuff in politics. Not the kind of stuff that we want to have our politicians doing. It shouldn't be a normal thing to do that. It should be something that if you're doing that, then you're shunned. We don't want you. You're toxic. But it's not that way. Here's some pictures. The guys. And there was I like this thumbnail. It's pretty funny.